Jason catching all my goals.
Hey.
And I don't need these hoes. I'm getting money, me and all my woes. Play with me, you know it's all I want. The young niggas going all out for us.
What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm Marvin Raheem. I'm an actor in Charm City Kings. I play as Derrick. I'm here to let y'all know a little bit about myself and how I grew up here in Baltimore City. And how I got my role in Charm City Kings. So let's get started. Yeah, man. I've been in Baltimore all my life. I'm 29 years old. And I never really left the city. Growing up, yeah, we had a father figure around, but he ended up getting incarcerated at an early age, and I was under 10 years old. So we was raised by my mother. It was me, my mother, 3 brothers, and my sister at the time. It's more of us now, but at the time it was just us. And you know, my mother was always trying to make ways, take care of all of us and stuff like that, for real. Wanted to make us feel comfortable. So, you know, growing up, watching your mother struggle, going through things like that, for real, it makes you want to go out and do something to help. You know, bills had to be paid, we had to eat, get clothes. It was a lot of stuff, you feel me? But she, you know, she got it done. She got it done for the most part. Like, we had what we needed for the most part and everything. So she definitely a super mom. She a super mom for that. You feel me? But my father, he was around. Don't get me wrong, he was around. Like, we was young. We young. He was young still too. So and it was like, you know, he still running around the streets trying to make ways and stuff. You know, he still had to live and eat and provide for us and stuff like that. And back in the day, like, it was hard. It's hard to get like jobs and stuff. I heard it was hard for him to get jobs and stuff like that, for real. And you know, he turned to the streets and stuff. He ended up getting incarcerated because of the streets and stuff like that. So we was raised by my mother. So us being boys, growing up in the city, you feel me? Like, it was like, we friends and stuff like that at an early age, young and stuff like that. It's things that they were having and stuff that we wanted and stuff like that, but we will always tell ourselves, like, one day I want to be able to get this or get that and things like that, for real. And we know that those were not the things that my mother was looking at, aiming at. She wasn't worried about all the, like, the little flashy, fresh stuff that the other kids had and stuff like that. Like, she was really more focused on what we needed, for real. And we wanted what everybody else was getting and stuff and had and stuff. Like, we was young. We wanted the toys. We wanted the Game Boys and the stuff like that. We wanted all that type stuff, you feel me? So we would go out and make our own ways to do it. Like, sometimes we would go out to the market, carry people bags, we would shovel snow, we would rake leaves. It was stuff like that, just to you know, just to sometimes eat for the day or eat what you wanted for the day. Like, whatever toy you wanted, whatever Pokemon cards you wanted, whatever you wanted. Like, Easter was coming up, like, we was really buying our own shoes, like, just, you know, really offer us, being at a young age, really out there trying to make a way to provide for ourselves so it won't be so hard on our mother. But we was trying to keep it away from my mother too. So, you know, growing up, we got involved in things, you feel me, that my mother didn't really like us doing, for real. So when I say that, I mean, we used to steal cars. We used to ride dirt bikes. We used to do everything. I was under 16 years old. Like, it was like growing up in the city. I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, growing up in the city, yeah, I mean, you can get easily influenced, but at the same time, I wasn't influenced. I was more so a leader type, and it was like when certain things came up, I was just the mind that knew how to pull everybody through it without, nobody getting hurt or everything just going by real smooth. So I'd be just like a mastermind behind that type stuff for real. So yeah, my mother, she she took care of all of us. Like, she made ways for all of us to eat and stuff like that, and always had shelter over out here and things like that. And we knew, like, I could see that it was struggling going on and everything, and we would never really say nothing about it or anything. Like, we were just in the mindset of, man, we need to go outside and like do something to bring some money back and do this and do that, so we can provide for ourselves and things like that. So like it wouldn't be so much weight on my mother, because it was only her at the time. So we went out, we shoveled snow, raked leaves, carried market bags. Like, we was outside, like, as kids, like, we was doing a couple things, you feel me? Like, and it was positive until we started getting a little older, until we see like we too old to carry these bags at the market. Like, we too like that's for like the younger kids and this and that. Like, so we getting a little older, you feel me? Like, we still under 16 though, but that's the kind of mindset we got, that we need to be doing something a little bigger now, because we getting a little older and we wanting more and stuff like that for real, and we don't want to bring it to my mother attention. So yeah, I mean, we turn to the streets, and that's the way a lot of people's lives go here. Like, it's things that they want on the street and stuff like that, and they, the household can't provide it for them, so you gotta go out and get it. And that's what we did. And when we growing up that way, is like we ended up getting involved in little stuff. Like, I ended up selling weed, you feel me, at an early age. So I'm selling weed, I'm outside, I'm selling weed. I wasn't smoking weed, but I was selling weed, and just to get by and do little things as I got older for real. But it would never really work out, you feel me? Like, it would never really work out how I really wanted it to. And I seen that it wasn't really leveling me up like how I really wanted to level up. And then I was looking at the future, like, I can't see myself really doing this when I'm 50. So, I started looking for jobs and stuff like that. Started looking for jobs, couldn't find no jobs and nothing like that. So I'm still in the streets. I'm still in and out the streets I don't really want to be in the streets for real, but I love the streets. I ain't gonna lie, I love the streets, but I don't love the stuff that come with the streets. So I try to stay stay away from it, because it's not what really what I want to feed me for my future. So yeah, we turn to the streets for everything that we need for real. Like, anything the household can't provide us, like, it's like, that's why we outside. That's why we in the streets. Like, and like, basically we didn't have no real guidance. Like, don't get me wrong, my mother always told us right from wrong and things like that. But when it came to the streets, we just felt like it wasn't so much that she could tell us for real, because we was actually out there in the streets and learning stuff and learning people and learning how to handle situations that she never even been in. So that was like a magnet to us for real. So we were in the streets a little more because we wanted to make things happen and stuff like that. So while we out in the streets, shit happened. And I don't mean to cuss, but yeah, stuff happened and whatever. And I had a cousin that a real close cousin named Ray Ray that I we actually, when I was younger, I actually moved from with my mother and I moved with my grandmother. My cousin Ray Ray lived with my grandmother, and that's where I lived at for a couple years with my grandmother. It was me, my little brother Rashid, and Ray Ray. So we were all finding our little ways to hustle too, because at grandma's house it wasn't extra good either. Like, we still had to make ways to eat, things like that. And that's where we really got into carrying the market bags and stuff like that, because we had a market right across the street from my grandmother's house over at Mondawmin Mall. So we would go over there and carry market bags and go around the community shoveling and whatever case may be. And we'll bring money back. We'll let my grandmother hold some out money and things like that, for real. And to the point where my little brother, he would continue doing that, but me and Ray Ray, we wanted to take it to another level. So we actually start turning to the streets a little more and getting involved in things that we shouldn't have been involved in, for real. Not hurting nobody or nothing like that, but we wanted some quick money. So we found a way to get quick money and everything. And me and him was rocking out. Like, whatever, if I do something, we split the money. If he do something, we split the money. Like, whatever it was, we split it. So Easter was coming and stuff like that, we'd get some money, we'd split it. We'd go buy our shoes, whatever, our clothes for Easter, whatever we gotta do, because wasn't nobody really buying us no Easter clothes, for real. Like, my mother, like, don't get me wrong, my mother, she did what she could. I don't care if she just bring the guys a shirt, you feel me, or a pair of pants. Like, she did what she could. Like, I had 2 big brothers and my younger brother, so hand-me-down wasn't a problem, you feel me? Like, yeah, like, he can't fit it, I can fit it now, bop. Yeah, like, we was swinging it, all that, like. But yeah, so man, Ray Ray, we out in the streets, you feel me? We doing us. We outside, we partying, we riding around. I had like a little dirt bike that I had when I was younger, a little 49cc from Pep Boys, a little orange little bike that I was just learning how to really ride and stuff like that. So I'm riding on that bike or whatever, and we was having a good time. We having a good time. We having a good time, riding around on the bikes and stuff like that. So one day, we outside, we in the hood, dice game going on. Man, Ray Ray right in there, right up there. I tell Ray Ray, I'm about to go out on the street and holler at my homeboy. My homeboy named David Reed. I tell him I'm about to go holler at my homeboy down the street. I'm gonna come right back, like, cause we was about to leave. We was ready to take it in for the night, cause Easter was actually the next day, and we wanted some money, and Ray Ray was trying to go for real, and I was trying to go too, but I wanted to holler at him first. I wanted to holler at my man first before I left. So I told Ray Ray, I said, all right, I'm ready to go in there and holler at him real quick. Like, you gonna be right here or whatever? He like, yeah. He like, I'm gonna go over here to the dice game with them until you get back up the street. Mind you, Ray Ray, what he 15? He was 15. He's 15 or 14. He was 14. And I was 15. And I went down the street to holler at my homeboy. I come back up the street. Ray Ray and them, they all sitting over there. It's getting dark outside, so they sitting behind the carryout. They right there, they shooting dice. Ray Ray don't shoot dice. He just sitting on the step watching them shoot dice. So I look over at him when I come back up the street. I'm really about to say, come on, let's go for real, and tell him for real so he can get them. Come on, but in the midst of me about to say that, I see my cousin and them standing in front of the carryout. So I speak to my cousin them. I say, whoa, what's up to them? And as I'm speaking to them, I hear gunshots go off. Gunshots go off, everybody running. Everybody running. Everybody come running past us. I start running with everybody because I'm trying to get away too now. They start saying somebody got shot, somebody got shot, somebody got shot. The only thing I could think about in my head was Ray. So I'm asking, dang, where Ray at? Where Ray at? Where Ray at? They like, he ran the other way. He ran the other way. I'm like, all right, cool. Somebody run over. Somebody got shot. Somebody got shot. I'm like, oh, somebody got shot? Like, so automatic in my head, I'm like, oh, shit, like, I hope this ain't somebody I really, like, somebody I know for real, like, somebody that's close to me, like. I go over there. I look. It was Ray. It was like right at that moment, it was like my body just froze up and locked up. Because I couldn't believe what was happening. And it was like, it was a moment that that was my first time ever getting in a moment like that, where it was like I couldn't hear nothing. I only could see him. And that was it. Like, it was just a silent moment. Burberry had been shot in his chest and in his head, just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it wasn't even for him. It was because everybody ran. And he was sitting down just watching them shoot, and he was the only one sitting down. So after that happened, it's like my whole life changed for real. It's like I started really like staying to myself for real, because I wasn't really never around everybody like just doing what everybody else was doing. Like, I always had my own little thing that I was doing for real, and I didn't really like everybody in my business or nothing like that. So I was quiet. I was quiet, and that's how it was for real. So when I lost Ray, it was like this dream. I felt like I was just in this dream I couldn't wake up from, because now I had to wake up and do this and do that without seeing him right there now. You feel me? Like, leaving out the house, doing this, doing that, not linking up with Ray no more. Not, me and Ray not going to get no money no more. Like, I don't got nobody to split my money with no more. Like, and it was just crazy, because it was something I never expected. So I had a lot of heartache behind that. So I started riding my dirt bike. I found out that riding my dirt bike was actually taking a lot of pain and stuff away from me for the moment while I was riding. It gave me a free spirit. Like, it made me just feel free and open, like nothing ever happened in my life. Like nothing, like none of that stuff never happened. So I would always ride my bike, and I had it was like, it was a small bike. I didn't know how to wheelie, I didn't know how to do nothing, but I would just ride it because it gave me a peace of mind, and it would only make me focus on what I'm doing at the time. So I can't think about somebody shooting, somebody doing this, somebody doing that while I'm riding my bike, because I'm thinking about these cars, I'm thinking about which way I'm ready to go, I'm thinking about everything, I'm thinking about riding this bike, I'm feeling the wind, I'm just feeling free for the moment, you feel me? So I get, I rode my bike a lot, and my older brother, Nico, not my oldest, but next to my oldest brother, Nico, he also liked dirt bikes, and while I was riding my little small bike around, he was riding a big dirt bike. So one day he actually took me off my small dirt bike and put me on a big dirt bike and showed me how to ride a big dirt bike with a clutch and gears. It was actually at the moment, it was a TTR 125. That's not really considered a big bike now, because that's not actually the racing bike, the racing version of the bike. So I ended up getting the hang of the clutch and everything on that bike, and from there it was like I just automatically fell in love with bikes even more, because it already made me feel free and everything. And not only that, now I'm learning how to use the clutch, so now I'm feeling like I can ride anything for real. I feel like I can ride anything because, you know, it's a clutch and it's a gear. Like I feel like I know how to ride anything with a clutch and a gear now. So I will ride the bike. Ride the bike. I'm still not wheeling. I'm still not doing none of that. I always told myself, dang, I would like to know how to wheelie and everything, but it wasn't nothing that I was really extra into. Like, oh, I gotta learn how to wheelie. This and that is cool. Blah blah blah. It wasn't that wasn't my reason for riding. And I rode for the peace of mind. So ever since my bro put me on that bike, it's like I just really stayed riding bikes. And that's what I always turned to. That's what I always ran to when I was just feeling crazy, feeling bad, mad, whatever. Like, the bike is what kept me calm, kept me going for real. So growing up, me riding that bike actually kept me at peace for the moments I was riding the bike. And my homeboy that I went down the street to go visit when Rory passed away, me and him end up, you know, hanging together every day too, on a daily. Like, me and him end up hanging together every day, doing the same thing. We making money, we splitting money, finding ways to eat. I'm staying at my house, he cool with my mother. I'm staying at his house, he cool with my mother. I mean, I'm cool with his mother. Like, his mother making me food, my mother make us food. Like, we cool, we growing up. That's my homie, I call him my brother, you feel me? So we tight, we cool, we still young, we still 16, 17, you feel me? Like, so we still around the age we start going to school together, actually going to the same school together. Like, we'll leave from school together. Like, our school was in our hood, you feel me? So we was going to school together. We was, you know, we was together. That was my man. So we getting a little older. I got, you know, during all the time, like, I got other homeboys and stuff. I'm losing, you know, other homeboys that's passing away and little stuff like that for real. That's taking toll on me and stuff. But it's nothing like them extra close ones that you used to seeing this person every single day, waking up in the same house, stuff like that, you feel me? Eating off the same plates, you feel me? My mother, you know, met like him, his mother like me, like all that type stuff. So we both, you know, we still in the streets, we doing whatever. So it get to a point, it's like my mother ended up moving out in the county. My mother takes me with her, and she takes my little brother with her. We moved out Edgewood, Maryland for a year, almost a year. Well, it was longer than a year. I left in a year. But we went out there, and it was just a different environment for us. Like, we was going to a whole nother high school. Like, don't get me wrong, man. I felt this so crazy going to this school, because they were learning things that I feel like I was supposed to be learning in college or something, and the things that they were already expecting me to know, they learned in middle school. I don't even know it in high school. So the way that they was teaching people out there was different. Me being outside in the community, it was just different. It was quiet, it was extra clean, it wasn't really too many people outside. Like, I always just hear the birds chirping, it was a whole different environment for me, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I mean, I tried to work with it and everything. I found a recreation center, little stuff like that, but it just where I came from already was embedded. It was already in me. Like it was in me. Like this, like I'm already used to being around a certain environment. It's like taking the fish out of the water. Like I feel like I couldn't breathe. Like I feel like this is not where I want to be. Like this is not where I'm supposed to be. So I would actually catch the train, the MARC train, back into the city, just to be in the city. Go to my father's house. Go to my father's house. He had like a store that he had, and the store wasn't up and running anymore and everything, but it had like it was a living space in there and everything, upstairs, bedrooms, every stuff like that. So that's where I was staying at when I did come back in the city. My father came home from jail when I was like 14, 15. And like I would go to my father's house and everything, and I would just stay there with him. And it got to the point where my little brother ended up following me back. He came back in the city. And my older brothers were already in the city, so now I'm back around my brother. My oldest brother got locked up when I was 16. When he was 16. So he was in jail for like 10, 11 years. So it's like the guidance falls on the male side of things. Like we didn't have any until we were a little older. When we were a little older, we felt like I've been in the streets. I'm doing this now. I've been doing it already. I did that already. So it wasn't so many things that a male figure can come in now and it seemed like they can just straight tell us, because we done learned everything on our own now. But my friend that I was telling y'all about, that I said we started hanging out every day and stuff like that after the River Pass and everything. Like, man, we started hanging out or whatever. Cause we was so tight. Like we both was quiet. We stayed to ourselves. And one day, and I'm not even gonna skip this. I ended up dropping out of school when I left from out in the county, catching the train back. I basically dropped out of school. My mother didn't like it. She actually sat there and told me like you a dropout. Like this what you gonna do? And it wasn't trying to make me feel crazy or feel dumb or nothing. It was to push me to get back in school. It was to let me know this now, because this is your only chance type way she was really saying it to me. So it made me feel crazy. It made me start thinking about, man, yeah, it is getting close. Like it's gonna be hard for me to go back to school. I don't want to be having to get no GED or nothing like that. Even though, you feel me, ain't nothing wrong with a GED. But I wanted the high school diploma though. And my next to my oldest brother Nico, he graduated from high school, and he was like one of the first in my family in a long while to graduate from high school. So I already had in my head like, man, I need to get my ass back in school. So I was 17 years old when I was going back and forth, when I was coming back with my father and standing right there with my father, and my little brother came back, stuff like that. I wasn't in school. I was 17. I was trying to get back in school. My father was busy. My father do home improvement work and he do a lot of work. And now my mother's all the way out in the county. So now I'm trying to get back in school. I goes up to school while I'm 17 years old, trying to get myself back in school. They wouldn't let me. So they told me I gotta come up there with an adult, or I have to wait till I'm 18. Bottom line, I never could get up there while I was 17. So as soon as I turned 18, The next day that school building was open, I went up to school and I enrolled myself in school as soon as I turned 18. Like, the next day that school door was open, I was in the school building, enrolling myself in school. I enrolled myself back in school, ended up playing on the basketball team, ended up graduating, and yeah, everybody was happy. My mother was happy, everybody was happy, you feel me? So now, I'm thinking like, I gotta find a job or something like college or a job or whatever. So I ended up finding a job. When I found this job, that's what kind of broke me and my friend David up. That's what kind of broke us up, because he was still in the streets and I just came from the streets because I started working. So I'm working now here in the streets. So now he got his group of friends he hanging around with. I got, I'm working. You feel me? So I'm working. I get off of work. I'm tired. I'm home. I'm sleeping. I'm getting my rest for the next day. So we barely seeing each other for real. We still talk to each other and everything, but that's how that went. You feel me? So one day I get a phone call that David was shot and killed. That messed my head up, because it wasn't too many people that I was really hanging out with and stuff like that. So I had a couple homeboys that like close homeboys. I had a lot of friends, don't get me wrong, but I always had like certain real close homeboys that you could always say, where Marvin at? Or you can always ask me where they at, and I'ma always know where they at, and they gonna always know where I'm at. You feel me? So that's how that was. So I had a homeboy named, I still have a brother, a homeboy named Donnell. We call him Nell or whatever, and he is actually my daughter's godfather, and his son is my godson. So we built a relationship from back then to now, you feel me? And Reed loss took a toll on me, so everything. So I'm working, I'm squeezing little times in the ride here and there whenever I can, you feel me? So boom, after I lost Reed, it was like, I'm just looking at life now like, damn, like why is life this way? Like we need to get out of the hood. Like certain people, like people need to, like, we need to start focusing more on really trying to get out of the hood and stuff like that. I was working for 4 or 5 years. I was working for like 4 or 5 years. So it just got to a time in my head where I was like, I'm putting in so much time at this job, and I wasn't really pulling, I wasn't really getting so much stuff back from working. Like, don't get me wrong, I ended up getting an apartment, I ended up getting a car, but once you do that, it's like, how, like, I'm only getting paid to pay my bills. So I had to find little side hustles and stuff like that. I got to the point in my head where I just felt like I'm a smart guy. I'm smart. I know how to make something from nothing. I know how the streets go. I've been working where I'm working at for a long time, and it's hard for me to really build up a solid foundation off of this job that I'm doing. So I started feeling like I need to start investing my time into finding what was for me. because I feel like I already spent too much time building somebody else's dream, and I didn't spend enough time trying to figure out what was for me. So I quit my job. I quit my job just to give me that space and freedom to not miss out on any opportunities. So I quit my job. Now I'm just out on the street. Not out on the street, but I'm using the street to do what I need to do to get stuff rolling. So I was actually able to keep up with what I needed to do as far as my bills and stuff. I was actually able to keep up with everything I need to keep up with. And also, still, I gotta take my daughter to her appointment. I'm at the end of this and record again. So I turned back to the streets so it can give me a so I can give myself an opportunity to possibly come by something that's gonna actually make me happy. And you know, I would like to build a foundation around something that makes me happy. You know, I like to joke around and stuff, play, but I only open up to certain people and play and stuff with certain people. You feel me? Like, cause growing up here in Baltimore City, it's like you always gotta have your guard up. So it's like that moment you put your guard down is when people look at you and take your guard being down as a weakness. If you playing or you doing that, people will look at you and they'll look at it as a sign of weakness for real, because you joking, you playing, you not taking so much stuff serious and this and there. So yeah, growing up in Baltimore, like you gotta keep your guards up, you feel me? Like, and that's not no way to really live for real. Like, it seems like everybody here seems like they got a, you know, secret little mission that they try and do or whatever. So you never know who really your friends. You never really know for real. So I stayed to myself, like, and I chose my friends by saying their interest level with me. You feel me? The stuff that we relate to together, this, that, and the third. Like, we had to have a lot of things in common, including being quiet. Like, I was not loud. I don't like no loud people. That's just trying to get attention and stuff like that. So the ones who wasn't trying to get that attention, they the ones that seem like we're attracted to each other. The ones that's always quiet and laid back, militant, I would say. You feel me? Like we the ones that always seem to clash or get cool. You feel me? And that mean one day I end up, you know, getting a phone call that Dave had, you know, been killed. So that really like that right there, it messed my brain up a whole lot. Like, cause it's like everybody that I'm getting cool with, everybody that's chill, that I'm actually get brother close with, end up passing away or something. And I just be wondering, like, why did it always happen to me? Like, why it always gotta be the people that I make a bond and friendship with, that I know that really stay in their lane and they quiet. You feel me? Like, they don't start no trouble and stuff. So after they lost Reed, then man, I just was, you know, I was already working and stuff too. I mean, I know I was working and stuff, so we already kind of like pulled away from each other a little bit because I was working, he was in the streets. I stopped working and everything, but in the midst of me stopped working, like, no, I got the whole story twisted. It's twisted right there. I was working. While I was working, I got the phone call that David had been killed. That's what started putting my mind onto, focus on what I needed to do for me. I need to build my foundation around what makes me happy. I need to stop investing my time into other people's lives and the things that they're building and worry about what I'm trying to build. Like, and it really just put me in a certain mindset, like I have to get something out of life because it's too short. And that's when I turned back to the streets. That's when I felt like I had to give myself that opportunity to possibly come across another opportunity that's gonna, you know, build off of something that's making me happy. You feel me? Like it's gonna all that stem for something that's making me happy. And I was like, you know, I like kids. I like to work with kids. I would like to teach a basketball team or you know, work with kids. I like to show them how to ride little dirt bikes and stuff like that. I would love to do that stuff because that's the stuff I would have wanted when I was younger, for real. And that's the stuff that would have made me happy when I was younger. And that's the stuff I feel like would have gave me way more hope when I was younger. So they're the things I would want to give back and do with the kids because it would actually make me happy because I'm actually living the moment that I wish I could always live, but I'm living it through the kids that I'm actually teaching and stuff like that. So I turned back to the streets. I'm riding my bike and stuff like that. You know, I'm tapping into the streets, whatever, making my way. You know, my big brother Nico. I got my big brother Nico. I got my big brother Steven. I'm calling him Burger. I got him. He home now from off his 10, 11 years. I got my little brother. I got 2 little brothers now. I got, you feel me? I still got 2 older sisters. The whole time I found out I had a sister on my father's side. Then later on down the line, now I got another little sister. I got 2 little sisters. I got 3 little sisters, 2 older sisters. Like life started getting real crazy, and it's like, damn, I started meeting more family and this, that, and the third. But bottom line is, I went back to the streets to, you know, try to find what was for me. And in the midst of me being in the streets, you know, I'm up under my big brother Nico now. Nico, you remember, that's my brother. He in the streets too. Like, he doing this thing. Like, he started making a couple of dollars and everything. You feel me? He came from the same struggle, same everything. Like, he got his own story. But you know, being in the street, a lot of stuff come with being in the streets. And me and him used to always have talks, like every day. We see each other every day. Like, some days we might wake up in the same house, you know what I mean? You feel me? We had our own places that we were staying at, but we seen each other basically every day. We talked to each other every day. You feel me? So, and it was my big brother. You feel my big brother? He in the streets. Everybody look at him like, yeah, he the man, whatever. He's getting a couple of dollars, chains on gold, whatever. He's shining. You feel me? Baltimore City though, you know. He in the streets, so I never knew everything he was into. I knew he was getting it. I knew niggas liked him. And I knew he had people that didn't like him. But who not gonna have people that don't like him? So one day, you know, I'm in the house, I'm chilling. Just came from outside, I'm in the house, I'm chilling with my girl, whatever, in there cooling. Just get out the shower, everything, all that, you feel me? We're in there chilling, ready to watch a movie or whatever. I get a phone call that my brother been shot. That shit killed everything, like. I mean, I shot to the hospital, everything, you feel me? I got to see my brother. and everything. I got to see him in the hospital. I mean, he was in he was messed up, man. He was real messed up, you feel me? Like, and he couldn't talk to me. All they could do was stare at me with teary eyes, red eyes, and in pain. Like, pulling on my arms while he laying in his bed. Like, really looking up at me like he wanting to tell me something. Like I said, and we done had talks, and we done had certain talks where he was been like, man, if something ever happened to me, this, that, and the third, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, man, what you telling me about that for? I don't want to hear about that. Like, don't tell me about that. I don't want to hear about that. Ain't not going to happen to you, da, 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 da. So the whole time, I mean, when we in the hospital, you know, they had to do blood transfer. They had to, you know, they had to keep giving them blood and stuff. And they had to give him surgery and all types of stuff, emergency, all types of stuff for real. But he was still out of his mind. Like, he couldn't really say nothing. Like, he was like, it's like he was saying so much inside of his head, staring at me, pulling on my arm, saying something to me, laying in that bed. I just seen so much pain in his eyes. And I can almost tell what the fuck he was trying to say through his eyes. But I can't make it out what he was trying to say. And I lost my brother right then and there, like, looking at him dead in his face. I watched my brother die. And from that moment, it was like that dream that I already thought I was in, it just got a million times worse. So I just feel like I was just in this world where it's just like, we gonna hit you from every angle, nigga. We gonna hurt you from every angle. And then your life gonna be over. That's how I feel. I feel like everything just hit me from every angle. Just hit me from every angle. And I was just in this space where it's just like, this can't be life, but this is life. My brother always told me that he see me doing something great. Like, I was just great in his eyes, you feel me? Like, and not only my brother's death, I had a little homie that I call my little brother named Sean. He also lost his life to gun violence in the city. And that was also a little guy that I actually showed him how to ride bikes. And he actually perfected the craft, and he was way better than me on the bikes and everything. Like, he was younger than me and everything. And I knew him since he was about like 10 years old, all the way up until he was like 18. And I mean, he was killed to gun violence in the streets, and he was real stuck on dirt bikes and stuff like that. And anything in the city that had to do with dirt bikes, like, he was there. Like, anything in the city going on with dirt bikes, he was there. And my older brother was the one that would always, if you need any money, if you need this and need that, he was always making sure he was good sometimes, and this, that, and the third, because Sean was a little knucklehead, you feel me? But he had the potential to be so great. And he was great. Just that he, you know, he had decisions to make. And along his journey and stuff, he made some wrong decisions. And that's, you know, stuff come with the streets. that was my close. Like he was close. Like it's my brother right here. This my brother. This Sean. That's him on this dirt bike. Basically, at the moments, like I lost Sean 2017. It was what? Like July. I lost Sean on Father's Day of 2017. I lost my brother the following month of 2017. So not even 30 days went past and I lost Sean and I lost Nico. And I lost another homeboy in between Sean and Nico too. So in that 1 month time, I lost 3 people. It made me say, forget everything. I need to focus on what I need to do. Life too short. I need to do what make me happy. I'm not selling drugs no more. I'm gonna ease myself away from the streets. I'm gonna find what make me happy. I'm not working for nobody. And that's just what it was. That was 2017. When my brother passed away, he left his dirt bike here. He had just bought a 2017 YZ450. He rode that bike like 5 times maybe before he passed away. When he passed away, that bike would just sit in the living room. I would just look at it. I would never ride the bike though. I would never ride it. I would just look at it. Because it was my brother's bike. It was brand new. He liked to keep his stuff brand new. I know he wouldn't care if I rode it because when he first had bought the bike, he let me ride it. I liked the bike. A lot of power, everything. But 450s just wasn't my type of bike for real. I liked them and everything, but I was a 2-stroke type of guy. I like the 2 strokes. So he the one took me over to 4 strokes. So the bike just sitting there. Time just going by, time just going by. I didn't ride. I didn't even have my own bike. That was the only bike sitting around that I could ride. And I wouldn't ride it because I just, my head was lost. I didn't care about riding the bike at the time. Like, I know the bike eased pain away, was easing my pain stuff for the moment, but it's like, at that moment, I just didn't want to ride either. Like, it was just, the reality really just was setting in me like, man, that shit happened, bro. Like, that shit happened. So it was really just there. Like, I didn't want to mess with the bike. It was sentimental. Like I didn't want to crumb fall on that motherfucker. Like, I mean, my bad. I didn't want to crumb fall on it though. But time going by, bike sitting there. I do the maintenance on the bike. When I did the maintenance on the bike, I let it sit again. It's coming into 2018 now. He passed away 2017. It was like August, July. It was July of 2017 when he passed away. So, and his birthday was the next month, August the 20th. But I lost him. So it was just me and the bike. One day I actually went and took the bike outside, rode it around the block, just feeling it out. And when I rode that bike, it was like, it was another feeling in me because I knew that this bike was so sentimental to me. I know what this bike meant to me. And in my head, I'm already thinking like, can't nothing happen to this bike. Like, this is my brother's bike. Like, and when I do ride this bike, I gotta make it look good. I gotta look good. I gotta represent on this bike. Cause my brother always used to look at me and be like, man, yo, you nice. Like, I get you to do this and do that, and you know, beat a lot of people in William, and you know, he just like when I scrape the fender, and I should do it like 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row, just keep scraping the fender, and he used to like it. So he used to always look at me like, you got real nice, because he the one that showed me how to ride the clutch. So now he's seeing me willing and doing stuff that he wasn't even doing for real. So now he looking at me like, yeah, my little brother nice, like this and there. So when you see other people and they, you know, they talking trash or whatever, he'll say, yeah, I get my little brother, blah, blah, blah. So he looking at me as like, I'm nice now, you feel me? So and Sean was the same way. Sean will look at me that way too, like, yeah, Marvin nice, this and there, even though he was nicer than me, and I'm the one show him how to use the clutch. So he would do that. He would still look at me and be like, yeah, like you nice, like you getting it, like, you feel me? And I was cool with that. I was cool with the young one being nicer than me, and they looked good. You feel me? I liked it because I was like, man, if you keep doing that, you might end up making yourself a way to get out the city because this looks so good. Somebody might just want you. You feel me? So, bottom line, when I was riding that bike, that's all I could think about is me being nice. Them, you know, knowing how nice I am and knowing that, you feel me, I got the potential to be great on the bike and stuff like that. So I started riding my brother's bike a little teeny bit, little more and stuff for real. Not a whole lot. I started riding a little more, getting the hang of it again. Till one day, I come outside and, you know, like I said, I stopped being outside and stuff. I'm talking about far as like on the block. I stopped being on the block and stuff like that. I went and stayed at my aunt's house for 2 days in a row. The second day when I woke up, I walked outside. When I walk outside, the police had the street blocked off. So I'm wondering what's going on. I look up the street, I hear dirt bikes. Then I can hear the police walkie-talkie thing, like, I'm like, cut, action, like little stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, they filming a movie up there. So I walk up the street, like, you know, I slid past the police, had that park blocked off right there. He was just blocking out from the cars going past. It was another police officer up the block more, and he was blocking street off from pedestrians and anybody that's coming towards the set. Like, you're not supposed to walk through the set. So I come up there, and I you know, I'm just watching and stuff. I end up talking to a lady. I end up talking to speaking with someone up there about getting my car inside of a movie. The lady, Miss Jackie. So she, you know, she came to me and asked me, did I have a car and stuff like that, that, you know, that she can use for like background, and, you know, so in my head I'm already thinking like, all right, cool, like I'll be able to get my car into a movie, blah, 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 blah. So, but I'm thinking, I'm like, but there's dirt bikes in the movie, and shoot, I want to see if I can get my dirt bike in the movie, like, you know, so I'm on that tip. So she like, see the car, so I'm like, all right, that's a start, you feel me? So now I know I can come back and forth and get, you know, walk on and off the movie set and talk to her or whatever case may be. So I'm doing that. So I got this little electric little bike that I always ride. So instead of me walking up there this time, I rode my electric little bike up there this time. When I rode my little electric bike up there, everybody on the movie set liked the electric bike. So this electric bike, you know, everybody was asking me, hey, where you get it from? What's the name of it? You know, everybody liked the bike, and whole time they liking the bike and they talking to me about the bike, and the whole time we building some kind of relationship already just for them talking to me. I'm from Baltimore, they not from here, so now they talking to me, they getting to know me, I'm getting to know them. So that's basically how it happened for real. So I'm on the movie set, that's what happened. All right, I'm on the set, I'm trying to get my way on there. They telling me like, if you want to get on there with your bike, you gotta holler at the person that we got in charge, you know, to get the dirt bikes for like the background riding and stuff like that. So I'm like, cool. If I can get out for a background riding on the motion picture film, I was like, man, I'm gonna be the man. Like, shit, I'm gonna be in there. You feel me? So I ended up hitting up who I needed to hit up, and basically when I was talking to the person, they was basically like, you feel me? It was on the, you know, it was on a certain amount of spots for real, and basically the spots was filled up. they would have let her have me in there, but I mean, like the spots filled up. But if anything was to open back up or anything, he was gonna give me a call and let me know, like, yeah, let her have me in there. So I never really, so basically it was a no. That was a no to me. Like, I can't get in. So I'm trying to do the next thing. I'm on some other stuff. I'm like, all right, I gotta go up there. In my head, I'm just thinking, there's dirt bikes and cameras. This is a motion picture film for something that I love. Like, I actually love, like the thing that take my pain away, like to keep my mind off of stuff. Like, that's what they was up there filming. So in my head, me not being able to get into a background, getting in as far as being a background, like, that wasn't enough. Like I started going up there on their movie set every day, talking about as soon as they doing that, I'm eating breakfast with them off their truck. I'm eating lunch with them, dinner with them. I'm sitting out there with the security guards overnight sometimes. Just because I feel like this is the only moment in my life that I might have an opportunity to possibly go somewhere with these people. And that's what make me happy. This, like, them filming a movie in my city was something new to me. Don't get me wrong, I know they film movies or parts of movies in our city, but I actually movie in our city about what I love to do. It couldn't get no better than that for me, so I was out there every day. I was out there watching them. They had the dirt bikes riding up and down, Willie and stuff, for real. So in my head, I'm looking at everybody wheeling up and down. I see the reaction of Jada Pinkett. I see of Caleb Pinkett and the director Angel, and the producer. I see the reaction of everybody's faces because I guess they don't really see it too often, for real, and stuff like that. And at that moment, they was just doing basic wheelies. So in my head, I'm thinking like, man, if they was to see me come past this and do some of my tricks or Willie how I know how to Willie, I said their brains might pop out their head. Like, for real, I said that in my head, and the first thing I thought about was Lord Sean. I thought about Sean. I was like, Sean would ride through that movie set. Sean gonna find his way in that movie set. Because that's what he loved to do, and if anything was going on in the city about dirt bikes, Sean was there. Sean would have found his way to be in that movie some kind of way. And in my head, I'm like, Sean would have rode through the movie set. And I'm like, I should ride through this movie set because this might be my only chance in life to get seen when I need to be seen on a dirt bike. Like, so something told me just do it. Just do it. And I straight thought about it. I said, I got my brother bike sitting right there. My brother left this bike. This is now my bike. My brother left this bike, and it was like everything was just lined up for me just to do it. And with me thinking about my brother, me thinking about Sean in both of my ears, I'm just do it. Something just told me just do it. So I was like, all right, I've been out here for a couple of days. I see how everything running, how everything work. They taking breaks and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wait till they about to go on their lunch break. As soon as they say cut or whatever, I'm gonna ride through the set. So I went back down the street to my aunt's house. That's where my bike was at. I got my bike ready, kick it out back, everything. I went back out front, and that police car that had the street blocked off down there, I was listening to his walkie-talkie. As soon as I heard him say cut, this, that, and the there, we was going to lunch. That was just the most respectful time I could come through, so I would roll past the police, boom. Go past the other police, boom. I come down, they already looking at me, but in my head I'm thinking like, I need to do what I'm gonna do and just leave, because I don't want to get locked up with nothing behind it. I know I'm not really supposed to be on the move set with my dirt bike, but I've been in police chases on my dirt bike. The police didn't mess with me on my dirt bike. I know how to get out the situation. So I rode through the movie set. When I rode through the movie set, man, I became be swerving, scraping the fender, jump up in the seat. I just see people on the side. Oh! They was really jumping up and down. I left. I came back that night. That's when I met Nick. This is the one I met on the movie set. Nick Ross. That's my Rasta brother. But yeah, I met Nick, and Nick was recording me on this phone. If you go on my page, I got a video that Nick recorded off his phone, and you will see it inside the movie. But it's a clip that was recorded from my cell phone that Nick shared on his Instagram page, and the video ended up getting back to, Caleb Pinkett, which is Jada Pinkett's brother, and I guess he sent it to Will and Jada, and they seen it and they liked it. That's not what got me on the movie at the time. So they just liked it. He told me, "Whoa, that was hard." Blah 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 blah. He gave me my props and stuff. So I was happy that they liked it. So now I'm just out there on the movie set. I'm just still out there. That wasn't enough. So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I ain't gonna get no role in the movie. I ain't gonna be in this movie. But at the least I could do is I can work with y'all. I can block off the street. I can do something. Like, come on, man. I'm in bar. I'm trying. Yeah, man. I'm trying to end up leaving with y'all. Like, come on. I'm trying. Like. I stayed on the movie set a week and a half in. One of the guys say, "Man, you been out here every day, man. Like, sun up, sun down, blah, 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 on time and everything. Like, would you like to come in and work with us tomorrow, this, that, and the third? You can block off the streets or whatever." I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, bing, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Because now I got a job with them. I could possibly, end up traveling with them and, really working, doing this and really getting paid. You feel me? Boom. So he said, come back the next day, blah, blah, blah. I'm there in the morning next day. I got my vest, walkie-talkie, my dual call sheet thing, everything, you feel me? I'm online, I'm out there in my uniform, blocking out the streets. I'm taking little videos on IG, like, bung, bung, taking little videos. I'm happy. I got a job with them. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, we making progress, brother. Like, I felt it good, like, because it's not too many people in the city that's working on no movie set. Like, I'm cool. Like, yeah, this is different. Like, I like this. You feel me? Boom, boom, boom. That'd be good if I can leave with them. Bottom line, we go to lunch that same day on 12 o'clock. So we come back from lunch. They got me setting up the cones. Boom, 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 boom. My man Nick, the one I met, he come out the alley. He said, he hit me on the walkie-talkie. "Where you at, Marvin? Where you at, Marvin?" I got a little thing in my ear and everything. And my walkie-talkie, like, I'm right here, around the corner. I forgot exactly what street I was on. I'm right here around the corner. But people like, stay right there. I'm ready to come to you real quick, bro. He come right there. He like, man, I told you I got you right there. Put down there. You told me, man, drop the cone, man. Drop that cone. Like, I'm like, He's like, man, they want you back here in the alley. Like, that's what I'm like, I told you I got you, right? I'm like, yeah. Like, all right. He like, all right, come on. When we walk down the alley, as we walking down, I see the producer, I see them standing right there in the huddle. He stopped walking, boom. Nick stopped walking. He looked at me and like, yeah, they want you. Like, right down there, go ahead, go right down there. He turned this and walked off. I'm like, oh. All right, I just go and start walking down there. I walk down there. As I'm walking up, I had to see Caleb Pinkett, man. His big smile, like, I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what could they possibly want with me? Like, what did I do? Like it only could be good. Like, I'm just thinking in my head, like, what is about to happen? Man, I got right there to them. He had a big smile on his face. Don't get me wrong. All of them had a smile on their face. He looked at me and he said, hey, man. I don't know if this word for word, but he was just like, hey, man. We need a big favor from you, man. Like, we came to this part of the movie and we had an actor for it and like, he know how to act like he's good and everything, but when it got to him riding this 450, this big dirt bike, he didn't know how to ride the bike. And they needed the actor to know how to act and ride that bike. The actor didn't know how to ride the bike, so they had to find somebody else for the part. And this was actually you know, a character, Derrick. Derrick is a character in Charm City Kings, and that's my name in Charm City Kings now, Derrick. They needed someone to ride that bike, and from me riding through the movie set on my bike, and then sticking around, I came to their mind when they thought about going back through casting to find somebody that knew how to act and ride a dirt bike. I stayed around enough to stay on their mind when it came to that part, and it was like, Marvin know how to ride the bike, but we want to know if he know how to act. He said, we want to know if you could help us out by, you know, riding this bike for us stuff, but we also want to know if you know how to act. I told him I never done acting before in my life, but of course y'all know I know how to ride the bike. I will try to act. I will do it. I will try. I never done it a day in my life. I told him, yeah, I would do it. Since I told him, yeah, I would do it, boom. It's like everything just changed right then and there. Somebody started tugging me this way. Somebody started tugging me this way. I was trying to give a handshake this way. Papers coming this way. Measuring tape coming this way. I'm just like, ho, what's going on? Like, oh, snaps. Like, they giving me a paper. You gotta read these scripts. You gotta boom. They taking me down there. You gotta go to wardrobe. We need to size you up. Boom. Now, after I come out the wardrobe, they doing everything. They boom, you gotta get here, make sure you remember these lines, boom, highlighting these. If you gotta alter anything, just go ahead, alter it, blah. They go your trailer, get inside your trailer, boom, study it inside your trailer. Don't come out until you study it. Boom. They put me in my trailer, talking about study. I still got that paper, man. I go in there. I whips out the paper. Boom. Whips it out. And then I think to myself, I'm inside a movie trailer for a role in a motion picture film with a name. I dropped that paper. I got on my phone. I was mommy, daddy, and from there, that's what it was. Like, they linked me up with an acting coach. I got to meet Meek Mill. Got to, chill with Tino and them. Got to put some work in doing something I really love to do. And not only that, like, me doing the acting and everything, like, I really liked it. Like, that was another thing that I feel like can keep my mind off of life and reality, because I get to be somebody else. Like, and it's like it keep my mind going, because I'm thinking a whole nother way because I'm somebody else. So me acting and man being on the dirt bike, I just found out that they was the two things that I actually love for real. And I really see myself really doing that now. So that was just, I know it was long. I know that was long. I know that was all that, but it's still really more stuff to the story. So y'all can ask me little stuff, like little deep, like certain little stuff. Like I DM y'all back, whatever. Like something like I DM y'all back when it's coming to certain detail about certain stuff I probably mentioned and stuff. Like I can break it down more and more and more. I know I probably didn't skip a few things and everything, but bottom line, like you get the picture. Y'all get the picture of what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, it's more stories, it's more lots of more painful stories. It's a lot of stuff that's really built around that actually built me to who I am for real. And I like to share everything with y'all. It's just ask me anything about anything, you feel me? And I break it down to y'all, you feel me? But thanks everybody for watching though. That's the, you know, they said that's manifestation, manifest. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what happened when you go through real pain, and it's like, with pain comes a blessing, it seems like, to me. That's how I look at it. With pain comes a blessing, because when you go through that pain, it's like as long as you stay positive and stay on the right track in your head and let that pain teach you and let you know what you really need to be trying to get done in life. It's like being that positive way about it, it seems like it end up opening up doors for you. So that's it for real. That's it. Like, if there's anything else y'all really just want to just know specifically about, like details, everything, like just ask me, like ask me. Cause like I said, it's a whole lot of stuff I left out. It's a whole lot of stuff I left out, but I just can't just think of it right now. You feel me? Like I said, I never thought I'd be making a video right now. I didn't think about, you feel me? Like, I know I didn't probably say stuff in the story, like probably was like kind of twisted up a little because like the timing, but I can't really remember all the exact timings and stuff like that. But overall, if you used to ask a certain thing, I can actually get into detail about exactly what you're asking about. That's about it for real. I'm Marvin Raheem, aka Derrick, Charm City Kings. October the 8th, HBO Max.